Shalom. Here is our second lesson, short lesson on the Finland unit. Here we're going to go into the text itself. We're going to open up the text. It's over here. It's under the Finland unit. This is just the text, but you can actually get the whole unit by here. These, right here, I just want to make it very clear to everybody. Here you have the big picture text, the BCC text, and the exercises. All the information is here. I did it for you this week and last week inside the unit, but you should know that it's on the Moodle site above. Okay, so you open up this text. Okay, let's look at our text. It's a very interesting text. So, educators. Educators, the root of the word is educate. And educate is Lashon Chinuch. Or, at the end of the word, or is talking about like a waiter or a boiler or a teacher. It means it's a noun, a Shem Poal. It means that the way I usually translate it is מישהו או משהו שעושה משהו. מישהו שקשור לחינוך הוא מחנך. כן? מישהו שקשור ל-teach, לימוד, is a teacher. מישהו שעושה את זה בעצמו. As it's the same thing here. We have educators. Now, there's an educator, sometimes with ER, sometimes with OR, here to the OR. Educators look at Finland. Look, מסתכלים, מחנכים, מסתכלים. Where? At Finland. What's Finland? We know it's a country. Land, Eretz, of literate children. Now, literate children is one of our words. Literate is connected to oraniyut. Literacy is connected to, but here it means that literate יכולת לקרוא ולכתוב. That's what it is. A land of literate children. ילדים שיכולים לקרוא ולכתוב. Okay, let's look at the text. First thing, כמובן, every time we have a text like this, it's very important to look at the subtitles. Subtitles will tell us a lot about where the article is going, and also at the end where the article is from. So let's see here. Of course, we're going to read the introduction, but before we read the introduction, I wanted to go for the subtitles here. Recipe. Recipe is a matkon. Matkonet for success, להצלחה. Okay? Why do they have such good success? We're going to learn about it in the first paragraph. Finland, compared to other school systems, Finland compared זה לשון השוואה. So הם משווים Finland to other school systems. לעוד מערכות חינוך, בתי ספר. And that's the conclusion. Conclusion זה כמובן is the מסקנה. What the writer wants us to really learn and take away, what's the main point of the article that we need to take with us from this. That's what we'll find in the conclusion. And where is this article from? The article based on an article. The article is a mamar in the Sutarila journal. So it's a journal article. I mean, it comes from an academic source. It doesn't come from a media source or the like. Okay, so let's go for a quick overview of this text. It's not a long text, but I think it's very important that we get an idea of what the text is about. We'll see that the text is very similar to what we saw in the video. I really hope you guys saw the video before, because after you see the video, you'll have a much clearer idea of where the text is going and what will really, the good background information. Okay, so let's read the text. Imagine this is shown דמיון, לדמיין, an educational system where מערכת חינוך, where children do not start school until they are 7. הם רק מתחילים בגיל 7. We're spending זה יכול להיות בזבוז או השקעה is only $5,000 a year per student. Now, why is that important, $5,000 a year per student? Let me just show you. I have another text here. Because here we have a list of countries. Now, this is in your book. We have here rankings of students, of how much money that different countries spend per student. We see the most is over $9,000 a year per student, and then here we have Sweden is the 11th. So they're very, very high. They spend a lot of money on the one hand. So apparently, you wouldn't think it's a very special look here, where Israel a little bit below Sweden. But in any case, they start. The first statistic here is they start at 7. Okay? The second one is spending is only $5,000 a year. So this means it's not a lot of money. The third, where there are no programs for gifted students. What are gifted students? Gifted, lashon gift, matana. So gifted students are students with matana. זאת אומרת שהם סטודנטים ברמה גבוה יותר. So there's no programs, אין תוכניות מיוחדות בשבילם. And the other statistics is the class sizes often approach 30 pupils. זאת אומרת, the class size is הגודל של הכיתה is about 30 students. Okay? Okay, so we have those statistics. So first of all, it's very important because this is a question in the book. This is a question that I gave you guys. What do you guys think about this information? They start at 7. Here in Israel, we start earlier. They don't spend a lot of money. They don't have any special programs, and each class has 30 students. A lot of students. Probably not such a good system. Maybe it is a good system. Think about it. Okay. This sounds like a prescription for failure. It's very important. This sounds like a prescription for failure. Prescription is it's a good question. It's a matkon. It's a shima. It's a prescription that they're going to fail. Fail is kishalon. And no doubt, in the eyes of many Western educational experts, מומחים בחינוך במערב, no doubt, כולם יחשבו, they're going to fail. It's not good. However, and again, we're in BCC, so we learn the Milot Kishor, and we're all going to learn the Milot Kishor again in our level, but not yet. However, ulam, בניגוד לזה, in this case, it is a description, תיאור, of Finnish schools, which were ranked dirug, the world's best of the first years of the 21st century. שהם היו במקום ראשון בשנים הראשונות במאה ה-21. They were in the best. This is what we saw in the video as well. So Finland topped a respected international survey, topped the לשון מעל, above, a respectful international survey in 2003, coming in the first in literacy. They were number first in literacy. Literacy is the יכול ימנו זה אורניות, and placing in the top five, above 5 of all schools in math and science. Another important data. Ever since, me'az, educators have been arriving from all over the world. Educators, we had this in the title. Educators are mirchanchim. They have been arriving from all over the world and ba'im b'kol olam kulo to this country. This country, what's this country? This country we're talking about Finland. To understand how their school system is built, and ba'im b'kol olam lavin how their school system is built, and see why it works so well. Okay? Build, זה לשון build, בונה. כן? איך המערכת נבנית, כן? And see why it works so well. למה זה עובד כל כך טוב. Okay, that's the first paragraph. There's a few questions in this particular paragraph. I gave you guys a lot of help with those questions. No doubt about it. Okay. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on the second paragraph. Because the second paragraph continues a lot of what's going on in the first paragraph. I want to spend some time here on the conclusion. Okay? Despite, here we have despite, again we have here a connective. It's a connective of nigud, of contrast. the praise from educators around the world. Shevach, praise is one of our words, from educators around the world. Finnish officials admit po is modim. They admit that they are far from perfect. הם מודים שהם ממש רחוקים להיות מושלמים לגמרי. Boys, for example, is another of our connectors, still perform much worse than girls in reading, as they do in the most other countries at that age. Okay? Boys, it's interesting. The statistics. Maybe you think about it. Why? They perform much worse than girls in reading. So reading, קריאה, יש רמה של בנות ובנים. בדרך כלל בכל העולם, בנות קוראות יותר טוב. אבל ההבדל בדרך כלל זה לא כל כך, קצת. אבל בפינלנד באמת יש מרחק גדול בין בנות לבנים. That's one problem. Yet here is not a dayan, still. Yet here is ach. It's another nigud. Educators and other people concerned about problems in education from numerous countries come to Finland to observe and learn about the Finnish educational systems. נכון, יש בעיות. ככה אנחנו רואים פה. Anyway, people are coming from all over the world, בכל העולם כולו, הם באים to learn about the system in the hopes that they can apply, הם גם לא יכולים להשתמש, some of the aspects, כמה בבחינות, the techniques in their own countries. Interesting. They also want to use these כל החידושים שיש שם במערכת שם בפינלנד, הם גם רוצים להשתמש באותו החידושים במערכות שלהם. So here we have, again, we have the introduction. We learned more or less what it's about. Here we're going to recipe for success. Matkon. Here we're going to see what they do, why it's so good, and Finland. We're going to see here is compared to other school systems. We're going to see how it's similar, how it's different than other school systems, and then we have the conclusion. It's a very short text. But a very interesting text. And I really advise you all to read the whole text and really try to understand it. And I would even tell you to read it multiple times if you have time.